as we look now at the nations who will be competing for the medals today: Israel, France, Brazil, Ukraine, USA and Austria.
Yeah, the dulcet tones of Peter O'Hanlon, the course announcer, ring out. You'll hear him do the crew introductions as we go and look at the Israeli in stroke, Asher Klein, and behind him Shaylee Mizrachi from Israel. The two French scullers, Laurent Cadeau in the stroke seat, 39 years of age, Elua Alberti, 45 behind him. Valdry da Silva Jr. in the stroke seat, Diana Cristina Barcelos de Oliveira up in the bows for the Brazilians. In the early 30s, those guys. Stanislav Samueluk in the stroke seat, behind him Daria Kotic. Yeah. Popular double here, Pearl Outlaw in the stroke seat, Todd Vogt behind her, and the Americans choosing to twist and put the man in the bow seat. Dave Erkinger in the stroke seat for the Austrians, and Joanna Bayer behind him in the bow seat. And I think the umpire says red light because of the, some of the athletes may have sight impairments.
That's right, Martin. One of the classifications is visual impairment in this PR3 event, as we ride here with the hot favourites from Brazil. The crew from the Ukraine there in lane 4, one of the fastest qualifiers in this race.
I'm sure
Oh, big problem there.
That's the Brazilian.
That's the Brazilian boat. Yeah, big problem, as you say. They were hot favourites. They've got a lot to do now.
That's going to make it
to
more
make their
interesting,
way
isn't it?
Back into this, yeah.
Not what we wanted to see. I wonder if they caught a buoy or something like that.
Yeah, looked like it.
Out
See
of
them
their lane
steering
here.
now, trying to make a correction to get back. We'll see if we can bring you a replay of that. They're making that correction. Look, they're back in the lane now. They had to cross the buoys again. You saw them get a little bump there. So here we see them from behind.
She lost the blade, maybe just on a buoy.
Yeah,
they were
she
close
just
on the buoy line,
caught
didn't
her
she?
blade quite badly.
That's a boat stopper, isn't it? Absolutely.
That's a proper boat stopper. She managed to dig it out, turn around, but they've given away about 4 lengths there to the French. They're working their way back onto them now. And let's see how this goes. We're 400 metres in, just less than 400 metres, so still 1,600 to go.
Still lots of time, lots of track to go. They're one of the favourites, so hopefully the Brazilians can get their way back into this race.
Just shows you anything can happen in the sport of rowing. Steering goes awry, catch a blade on a buoy, you've got a boat stopper like that, and the race pattern has completely changed. So coming up to the 500 metre mark, it is Alberti and Cadeau from Bayonne and Boulogne, respectively. In second place, it's Kotyuk and Samueluk from Ukraine, I think. And then in third place, it's Mirachi and Klein from Israel.
Nice picture there of Laurent Cadeau in that stroke seat. He was in the French men's 8 back in 2015 before moving into the para classification. So experienced man.
Yeah, and I think he had a back operation which he developed an infection from, unfortunately, and that led to his classification in the para class.
Yeah, so he's an experienced racer, so up there at the front of the field, and the experience of the Brazilians now, having had that big drop, and they're still clattering buoys. You just saw them hit one then on the stroke side.
My goodness, how many
that
buoys
right
do they
blade they just hit, just when they were making progress back in again.
Ukraine are the double benefiting from the Brazilian misfortune. They've had that, well, at the moment, the Ukrainians just a little bit ahead of the Brazilians, who I think are going to move through the Ukrainians and take a bronze medal position. Whether they get back on the French is another question completely.
Well, they are making progress. I mean, they were 4 lengths behind probably when they crashed. They've got that back to about 2 lengths now, the Brazilians. There's still more than half the course to go, but you've got to wonder how much it would have taken out of them to stop and start again, which they've almost done twice now.
I think it just demonstrates how strong this Brazilian combination is. They're now starting to move through the crew from the Ukraine. If they can get themselves back into a silver or even gold medal here, I think just shows the dominance of this Brazilian crew to recover from those mishaps. But like you say, Greg, it's costly.
Well, you can see it there for yourselves. It's the French with still clear water over the Brazilian double. Not quite a length of clear water. The Ukrainians working hard to stop the Brazilians getting through them. You can't help thinking Brazil will get through them. Top of the picture, the Israeli double are in 4th place right now. And that gap's getting ever smaller. We're now down to, what, about 800 metres left to go. Will that number 3 go all the way through?
Yeah, mesmerising, isn't it? Looking at the two bow numbers, bow balls there. There's plastic balls on the front of the boat in case of collision, so important as Brazil move through Ukraine onto their next target. The leading French crew is the 3rd place Ukrainians. Stanislav Samolyuk in the stroke seat.
Well, you can see it, they're through 12.50 now. They've got overlap with that French double. It also still looks to me like the Brazilians are close to the right-hand side of their lane, still sort of flirting with danger with that buoy line. So they've got the overlap. They need to keep moving. They need to stay clear of any more mishaps.
Diana Barcelos de Oliveira just had a look round there. She has been world champion in this event back in Sarasota in 2017. And again in Plovdiv in 2018. So she's got the experience. She should know really in terms of steering to keep that boat right in the centre of the lane.
You can see how hard they're working now to try and get back into parity. You know, you can't help thinking they would have come into this as strong favourites, thinking they were going to have things all their own way. They've given away a lot. They've worked their way back now. It's about half a boat length to the French with 500 to go. How much will it have taken out of the Brazilians? And we've still got a race on for that bronze medal.
Yeah, Israel on that far side, just a length behind the Ukrainians, who have been out in front with the French early on in this race. The motivation, Laurent Cadeau, the 39-year-old, putting everything into it. Allure Alberdi from the Bayonne club, backing him up there in the bows. Look at her go.
The Brazilians have done so well to get themselves back into this position, but the French here are looking so strong, and I think that the Brazilians might be running out of steam as we're coming down to the last few hundred metres here.
Yeah, well, we're coming up towards those red buoys. The French will be desperate to see those red buoys in the corner of their eye, because they've gone very hard from 1500 to 1750. Laurent Cadeau in the stroke seat has got up to 37 strokes a minute, and you can see they've taken half a length back on the Brazilians.
Still going backwards now, I think. The Ukrainians are even going to look over their shoulders and see the Brazilians in their sights. They must be so tired now, Barcelos de Oliveira and De Silva Jr. Here come the Ukraine.
I'm sure they will be tired. They still look like they're over the wrong side of the lane to me as well. France looking good for this. Ukraine coming back now at the Brazilians to try and challenge for that silver medal.
Massive charge from the Ukrainians coming up towards the line. Brazil in that silver medal position, which they fought so hard to try and get back. But the Ukrainians coming at them. French out in front. They look to be prime position for taking the gold. Here come Ukraine. They've got their bows in front of the Brazilians. Brazil just suffering from having to work so hard after that boat stop in Crab in the first part of the race. It is the France. Félicitations à la Française. Fantastic win for them. And it is the Ukrainians, I think, just ahead of the Brazilians. Photo finish.
That one was really on the surge. We think
right.
it's Ukraine from here. We'll wait to see it confirmed with the time on the monitor in front of us. We might get that before you do. Let's wait and see. America came across the line. Gosh, you could see how much it's hurt Laurent Cadeau there in the stroke seat. But whoa, the opportunity came and they took it.
Yeah, they really did, didn't they? Austrians finished in 6th. That was the Israeli. Mizrahi Klein finished in 4th.
And look at the celebrations in the French boat.
So
Oh, heartbreak for the Brazilians.
yeah, you can see how much it's hurt them. And I'm actually seeing on the clock that they have got the silver medal. 200ths ahead of Ukraine.
You're joking. Got that wrong then.
Yeah.
They don't know yet, Ukraine, do they?
37-16, 37-18.
Wow.
It looks like it's going to be the Brazilians. We'll wait till we see it up on screen as
Okay.
well. See something official. Well, you could see that boat stopping crab and how much that has given away. But the French weren't stopping and waiting, were they?
No, they weren't.
Seized the moment, and they did that so well. Great the way they pushed away again in their last 500. Although I guess the Brazilians were really hurting, weren't they, having had to restart.
They were really hurting, weren't they? You see how much it takes out of you, this sport.
So you see it confirmed there. It's the gold for France, but it is the Brazilians who just squeezed through to get the silver medal ahead of the Ukrainians.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for our medalists.
Váš potlesk patří těm nejlepším medailistům mistrovství světa.